Whether you are a returning player or brand new to the Destiny franchise, you are probably wondering which expansions are worth getting and what bundles will save you money. So today I'm going to talk to you about what each expansion has to offer, what I recommend purchasing based on your Destiny aspirations, and the most cost-effective way to get it all. We'll first look at each expansion individually, and then talk about some bundles that allow you to buy multiple expansions together for a much cheaper price. Getting started with specific expansions, we first have the Shadowkeep expansion for $25, granting you access to the Shadowkeep campaign, the Pit of Heresy 3-player dungeon, the Garden of Salvation 6-player raid, and all of the exotic weapons shown on screen right now, most notably of which are the Witherhoard kinetic grenade launcher and the Leviathan's Breath heavy bow. Next up is the Beyond Light expansion for $30, granting you access to the Beyond Light campaign, the Deepstone Crypt 6-player raid, and all of the exotic weapons shown on screen right now, most notably of which are the Lament Sword, Tiku's Divination Bow, and Ager's Scepter Trace Rifle for PvE, and the Duality Shotgun, Cloudstrike Sniper Rifle, and No Time to Explain Pulse Rifle for PvP. With this expansion, you also gain access to the Stasis subclasses for the Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, which feature a crowd control freeze-centric ability kit that is quite strong in many activities of Destiny. Moving on, we have the Witch Queen expansion for $30, granting you access to the Witch Queen campaign, the Throne World Destination, the Vow of the Disciple 6-player raid, and all of the exotics shown on screen right now, most notably of which are the Parasite Grenade Launcher and Osteostriga submachine gun. Now, we talked about how this video would save you money, and the first way we can save is with the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection Pack, which contains everything we have mentioned so far from the Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and Witch Queen expansions, all for $60. This bundle offers $25 of savings at base prices compared to if you bought each expansion individually. And if you like saving money when it comes to Destiny, be sure to consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons down below, as I typically make a video like this annually to help you buy Destiny in the most cost-effective way possible every time. With that said, the final two pieces of purchasable expansion content that are not included in the Legacy Collection Pack are the Forsaken Pack and the 30th Anniversary DLC. The Forsaken Pack for $20 will grant you access to the Shattered Throne 3-player dungeon, the Last Wish 6-player raid, and all of the exotic weapons shown on screen right now, most notably of which is the Izanagi's Burden Sniper Rifle and Always On Time Sparrow for PvE, as well as the Ace of Spades, Last Word, and Thorn hand cannons for PvP. We also have the 30th Anniversary Pack for $25, which will grant you access to the Grasp of Avarice 3-player dungeon, the GJALLARHORN exotic rocket launcher, and multiple cosmetic ornament armor sets. You can optionally also buy these two pieces of content together with the Armory Collection Bundle for $30, saving you $15 compared to if you bought each expansion individually. Meaning that as a player starting out today, you can optionally acquire every single piece of the 5 years worth of Legacy Destiny 2 content for $90 before factoring in any sales or discounts that actually happen quite frequently, especially during times like Black Friday shopping. The only other pieces of old Legacy Destiny 2 content that we have yet to mention are two Witch Queen dungeons that are purchasable in-game for 2,000 silver each, the Duality dungeon on the Moon and the Spire of the Watcher dungeon on Mars. It's worth noting that silver is the Destiny 2 premium currency, which has a conversion rate of approximately $1 to 100 silver, making these dungeons approximately $20 each. Again, these are 100% optional pieces of content that are not required to enjoy Destiny to the fullest, and we'll talk about whether or not they are worth it in my personal opinion in a minute. But first, let's talk about the current options for folks that are interested in new and current day content, starting with the Lightfall expansion, which is the expansion everyone is currently playing as of today. The standard edition of Lightfall, going for $50, will grant you access to the Lightfall campaign, the Neptune destination, the Root of Nightmares 6-player raid, the Strand subclasses for Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, the current season of Destiny 2, and all exotics shown on screen right now. most notably of which is the Quicksilver Storm exotic auto rifle. You can also get the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle going for $100, which will grant you access to everything in the standard edition, as well as access to seasons 20, 21, 22, and 23, the Ghosts of the Deep 3-player dungeon, and another unreleased dungeon coming to Destiny in Season 23. For context, we are currently in Season 22, with Season 23 arriving on November 28th, 2023. And although we have already passed seasons 20 and 21, the content from those seasons will remain in the game until the release of the Final Shape expansion coming on February 27th of 2024. So even if you buy the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle today, you still have plenty of time to play all of the seasonal content that you have missed up until this point. Finally, we have the Final Shape expansion, coming to Destiny 2 on February 27th, 2024. The standard edition of the Final Shape, selling for $50, will grant us access to the Final Shape campaign, the Paleheart destination inside the Traveler, access to the Final Shape 6-player raid, and access to the first episode of the Final Shape called Echoes. But what the heck is an episode? Well, beginning with the Final Shape, Bungie is moving away from its season-based content model in favor of a new live service model they call episodes, which they say will feature new story content and rewards, a new exotic mission, and new exotic weapons and armor for each episode. Episodes will also be split into 3 separate acts, with a new act releasing every 6 weeks, with each act containing new stories, quests, activities, weapons, artifact mods, pass ranks, and rewards. This is important to know, as for $100, you can get the Final Shape and Annual Pass bundle, which includes everything in the standard edition, as well as access to episodes 2 and 3, titled Revenant and Heresy respectively, the Final Shape dungeon key, and some pre-order items that you can use in-game today, such as the brand new Tessellation exotic fusion rifle. But real quick, let's talk about a setup upgrade that you deserve. When I was a console gamer, I thought PCs were just a fad, but after 10 years of gaming on one, I have never looked back. With a PC, you just get way more storage space, significantly higher frame rates, and much better performance. So why not treat yourself to a Starforge system, the best PCs in the universe, built at premium quality and with a full 2-year warranty. Head to my link in the description to go buy yours now, so you can thank yourself later. Now, with all of that information established, which expansions should you buy? Theoretically, if you bought everything available today in the most cost-effective manner, meaning you purchased the Legacy Collection, Armory Collection, the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle, and the Final Shape and Annual Pass bundle, you would be spending $290 at base prices to own pretty much every single piece of Destiny 2 content all the way through February of 2025. And while that might sound expensive, it's worth noting that at this exact same time last year, you had to spend $265 to own every single piece of Destiny content, which didn't even include the Final Shape and its entire annual pass. So, considering owning every piece of content in the game, including all content coming in the next year and a half, is only $25 more expensive than it was for that same situation last year, it's actually not a half bad deal. But that's still a lot of money. So if you are not looking to drop almost $300 to get every piece of Destiny content available, you might be wondering what you should avoid. Well, in my personal opinion, there are 5 spots that you can save some cash at. If you don't care about the Stasis subclasses, old dungeons, raids, and campaigns, you can skip out on the Legacy Collection. Where this will really sting is not being able to acquire any of the exotic weapons from these 3 expansions. But if you don't care for a whole lot of variety in your exotic arsenal, that's a sacrifice that you can make. This choice will save you $60 at the cost of a significantly less expansive exotic weapon and subclass arsenal. Alternatively, you can purchase the Beyond Light expansion standalone alone instead of grabbing the full Legacy pack. This is great if you want access to the Beyond Light campaign, the Beyond Light raid, the Beyond Light weapons, and most notably, the Stasis subclasses. You will still lose out on all Witch Queen and Shadowkeep exotic weapons, raids, dungeons, and campaigns, however. This choice of purchasing Beyond Light standalone instead of in the Legacy Collection bundle along with the Witch Queen and Shadowkeep will save you $30 US. Another option you have is to skip out entirely on the Armory Collection bundle, which will lose you access to all of the Forsaken exotic weapons, the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, and the GJALLARHORN exotic rocket launcher. Whilst the GJALLARHORN is very good, you really only need one person on your fire team to have it at any given point, which means you can realistically get by without owning it. Where this sacrifice will sting, however, is missing out on the Forsaken exotic weapons. This choice of passing on the Armory Collection bundle will save you $25 US. Another way you can save is by purchasing the standard edition of Lightfall instead of the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle, which will lose you access to all previous and future seasonal content. You'll still have access to the campaign, NEOMUNA Destination, Brood of Nightmares raid, and current season of Lightfall. But where the sacrifice will sting is the loss of the Ghosts of the Deep 3-player dungeon, as well as the unreleased dungeon coming in Season 23. You can, of course, however, purchase these dungeons separately with in-game silver for $20 a piece, and purchase individual seasons for $12 a piece at a later date. This choice of going with the base Lightfall expansion instead of the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle will save you $50 US. The final way you can save is by purchasing the base version of the Final Shape expansion for $50 US instead of the Final Shape and Annual Pass bundle for $100. This, of course, will lose you access to episodes 2 and 3 later in the year, as well as the Final Shape dungeon key, but there will surely be a way to purchase them standalone down the line. For how much exactly is unknown at this point, but I can't imagine it will be much more than $30 a piece per episode and $20 per dungeon. So if you're hearing good things about them after their release, you can just buy them at that point. But as a 7-year veteran Destiny player, what do I recommend that you buy? Well, let's go down the list. If I had to rank your purchase priorities from don't need all the way up to must have, at last place would be the 2 Witch Queen dungeons purchasable in-game for 2,000 silver or $20 US a piece. These dungeons are fun, don't get me wrong, but they are outdated content that don't really offer any particularly incredible loot at this stage of the game. Next up would be the Armory Collection, which honestly only has the merits of the Forsaken exotic weapons and the GJALLARHORN exotic rocket launcher. If you have a lot of interest in PvP, you will probably want to pick up this bundle just for the strong PvP exotic hand cannons alone. However, if PvE is more your fancy and saving $25 is important to you, I'd honestly recommend passing on this one. Like I said before, whilst GJALLARHORN is an amazing weapon, it excels specifically in team play and only requires one user to have the weapon, meaning that as long as one of your teammates has it, you're good to go. The Grasp of Avarice dungeon is also a notoriously mediocre dungeon according to Destiny community opinion. The biggest thing that you'll be missing by skipping over this bundle as a PvE player is the Izanagi's Burden exotic sniper rifle, which can be an absolute monster for high skill level players in endgame PvE. But at the end of the day, you can always buy this later down the line if you ever decide you do need this sniper in your life. Moving forward to the middle of the pack, we have got the Legacy Collection bundle, which in my opinion is probably the best piece of purchasable content for anyone brand new to Destiny 2. It is effectively 3 years worth of content for $60 and offers 3 full-length campaigns, 3 destinations, 2 dungeons, 3 raids, 3 years worth of exotic weapons, and the Stasis subclasses. Amongst these offerings is the Witch Queen campaign as well, which has been hailed as arguably the best Destiny 2 campaign experience in the history of the game. So if you're brand new to Destiny and are looking for the most bang for your buck, this bundle is a must-have. Next up is the option between the base Lightfall expansion and the Lightfall and Annual Pass bundle. And at this time, I would honestly recommend that you only purchase the base version of Lightfall as opposed to the annual pass bundle. To be 100% honest, the campaign experience of the Lightfall expansion is quite lackluster, especially when compared to the Witch Queen campaign experience we had just a year prior. But the Strand subclasses and access to the current season give you everything you need to experience current day Destiny at the same level everyone else is at this very moment. Sure, you miss out on content from the previous 2 seasons of Lightfall in season 21 and 20, but no one is really playing content from those seasons nowadays anyway. Now, this does lose you access to both of the Lightfall dungeons and the final season of the Lightfall DLC, but you can buy all 3 of those things using in-game silver for a total of $52. Just $2 more than if you bought it all together with the annual pass bundle right away. In my opinion, it's better to play the base expansion of Lightfall for $50 and decide if you want to spend an extra $52 down the line if you decide you want more, as opposed to dropping $100 all at once. The final item is the decision between the Final Shape standalone expansion versus the Final Shape annual pass bundle, the most notable difference of which is access to episodes 2 and 3 of the Final Shape annual calendar, the Final Shape dungeon key, and early access to the Tessellation exotic fusion rifle. Now, like I said before, we don't yet know what the cost of each individual episode is going to be, but if I was a betting man, I would reckon they will go for about $25 to $30 a pop. Couple that with the $40 extra total you'll have to spend to get both Final Shape dungeons standalone, and you're looking at approximately $140 to $150 total that you would have to spend for all of the Final Shape content if you bought it piece by piece. I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't really know what the play here is. Destiny and Bungie are trying something new with their episodic content model, and no one knows how it's going to turn out. What I can say, however, is that the dungeons are typically a slam dunk and well worth playing time and time again, especially when they are current content. And it's hard to envision a world where the episode content is so lackluster that it, in conjunction with the new dungeons Bungie will release during the Final Shape, will not be worth that extra $50 you'll be paying for the annual pass bundle. Personally, I'm going to recommend that you splurge here if it's within your means, but that's not to say that you'll have a bad experience whatsoever by just buying the Final Shape standalone and picking up other things piece by piece if they interest you down the line. If you have any additional questions about anything Destiny related, you can drop them in the comments below, ask in my Discord server linked in the description, or come to my Twitch live stream at twitch.tv/Mactics and ask me right there. Please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons down below if this video helped. I'll see you in the live stream. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.